I'd like to talk a little bit about using proper English, which I feel is very important. If you're going to be on stage, if you're going to lead a company, if you're going to lead a team or speak to your staff, you owe it to them to speak proper English. Now, these are small mistakes, but common mistakes, and you can decide for yourself if you care enough to make the change. If you're making a mistake, if you don't want to change, it's up to you. But I think it's always good to know the rules, like it's good to know proper manners, and you can choose to use them or not. So let's take a look at 3 of the most common ones I've heard. The first is the difference between a word like really and real. Really is an adverb. And if you're going to say he speaks real well, it's inaccurate. You want to say he speaks really well. Or she was real good, it's she was really good. Depends how you want to sound, but really when you're describing an adjective like good is the accurate way to go. Here's another common one I hear all the time, the difference between lie and lay. Lay is the verb used for an object. Lie is the verb used for a human being. So the accurate way to speak is not to say I went to lay down or I'm going to go lay down. You say I'm going to go lie down. But you might say I'm going to go lay this pen on the bed. But you yourself are going to lie on the bed. Human beings lie, objects lay, unless it's past tense. So lie versus lay. And here's the third, the most common mistake of all of these. It's the difference between I and me. People are so afraid to say me because they're afraid they'll sound illiterate or uneducated. But you only use the word me when you are the object of a sentence. So if I were to say, Joe took John and I, it's actually inaccurate. You want to say, Joe took John and me to the store. You don't say Joe took John and I. And the way you know it's inaccurate is you take out the other person and then you see if the sentence still makes sense. So would you say Joe took I to the store? You'd never say that. You'd say Joe took me to the store. Joe took me to the store. Just because you have another person in there, Joe took John and me, doesn't change anything. So is it I or is it me? The way you know is you take the other person out and then you evaluate the sentence. And if it makes sense without I, the answer is me.